Okay, let's say how's it and welcome to everybody. I think we've got a number of our own community that's logging on today, and I think that there's a whole bunch of new people that are dialing in to take a look. So maybe we should just kick off by Benny. Do you want to Benny Legend? I like that. Do you want to tell us about yourself, Benny? Just give us a quick intro. Kirsty, you can do the same, and then we'll kick right in.
Yeah, thanks. I'm Benny Gous, and yeah, I'm one of the three partners in Work That Matters. We represent AssetMap in South Africa, yeah, and we're really enjoying it. It's great to just be at the forefront of the change in the financial planning industry. That's what we love to do, and we love supporting financial planners.
Thanks.
Hi everyone, I'm Kirsty Toye, and I echo exactly what Benny said, and I'm excited for you to see all the changes today and the updates.
Yeah, and for those of you that haven't met me, I'm Gary Winslow. Yeah, I'm really excited to be bringing this to you guys today. So I think I'll be doing most of the talking for the day, but Benny and Kirsty, if I stuff things up or you think like I've said enough, just feel free to jump in and like pull the cane or pull the slip or whatever one does. Yeah, we're really excited to show you the first of our evolving iterations for 2021, and this is the serious type of iteration. The next iteration that we're going to show to you, I'm on an absolute mission to make it even more South African, and I'm going to squeeze in the word boerewors somewhere into the tool. So you'll need to just keep like a very close eye out for that one. But as I say, today's one is quite serious, and I think what today's presentation is going to be about is it's going to be about showing you how AssetMap is really pushing the boundaries on advice and on experience, and that's for both you guys as the financial advisors, but the important person at the end of the chain, the actual client themselves. So I think that what you're going to see here is evidence of AssetMap's intent to make the experience an experience that continues to be really intuitive, really user-friendly, really fast, and I think you're going to see quite a bit of that as we take you into the program today. Really fast, and the most important thing, really visual. Yeah, so I mean, this change is going to be a lot of stuff on the front end, but really importantly to say, what is enabling the changes on the front end is the stuff that has changed in the back end. And the stuff that is changing in the back end is going to enable a really fast evolution of this technology befitting for the 21st century. So yeah, we're really excited about everything that's come out to this point and the exciting changes that we can expect to see as AssetMap evolves with your relationships with clients. Yeah, so I'm going to flick on to the next slide here to give you a sense of what you can expect. So I hope to explain a bit of the intent behind the change. So where did it come from? Why is it what it is? The process to actually execute the change, and the process for how we got there, and then to take you for a bit of a test drive through the actual tool. Again, where I hope to not fumble all over the place. Yeah, so jumping straight into another two faces, these are two of our colleagues in the US. So that's Don. He's the product manager. He's the IT dude. He's the dev guy. He's the real nerd in the team. On the right-hand side, you've got Bobby. He's a VP. I think that means very important person. So he drives around in the blue lights and But the important thing is not that he's very important. The important thing is that he represents the customer at AssetMap, which is you guys. And so I think what you'll see is that this is a collab. I'm putting the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. This is a collab between IT and between the users, which really epitomizes the approach at AssetMap, and that ensures that what you end up getting is functional and it's useful for you guys. Yeah, so this is a bit of insight into the process that got us to this point, and you'll see that this is a picture of the people, and the people are you. So the community was listened to, and that really is the starting point for this UX change. So AssetMap collects feedback from its users on an ongoing basis. It used that feedback to initiate some development. That development went into a beta testing process, whereby a whole bunch of feedback and iteration happened. And there were a whole bunch of participants on that beta process, so we were a part of that process. So if anybody's ever tested with Kirsty before, you'll know that she's very rigorous, so you can expect big things here. And obviously there was a whole bunch of advisors that also took part in that. Yeah, so I think that the big question that you're probably wondering is what changed? And I think the key thing to highlight is that nothing has changed. AssetMap has just been made better. And what do we mean by better? Yeah, I've put a couple of thoughts onto a chart here to say this is better. Better is speed, faster speed. So as I flash through it, just keep your eyes open for how fast. You know what it's like to move from the asset map into target maps, or from one target map into another target map. The speed is like better by 50%. It's modernized, and I mean it's a funny thing to say of such an awesome tool, but I think you'll get a sense of how clean and how elegant the solution now looks. It's cleaned out a whole bunch of stuff, so a whole bunch of user testing to say, is there redundancy in some stuff? Is there duplication? So a clean out of words, a clean out and a streamline of a whole bunch of stuff. The navigation is really cool. It's got sleek workflows, so the intuitiveness of going from one feature to another feature is really obvious. There's more control for the users, so the users can get more involved in what they want to show and what they don't want to show. There's more utility per screen, so each thing that you see on the screen has a very specific function. And I mean, the most important thing, which you'll see, I think, is that the visualization is enhanced. So, I mean, to summarize the feedback, this is one of the quotes from one of our advisors, and I mean, it really summarizes the whole sentiment. You've made everything better by displaying the same or more easily in a cleaner format. The UX is intuitive, and that's the best feature. So that's kind of what you've got to look out for here. And just to say, this is a change, and we know that everybody loves a change. So our intent is to make this change as seamless as possible. And I think so what AssetMap is doing is making it optional. So the two environments are going to run in parallel, so you can choose to use the new UX, or the classic UX, depending on how comfortable you are with change. And yeah, you're going to be able to switch over as you experience the value for yourself. I've been asked a lot this week already, when is it going to be available? And I'm happy to announce that it is already available. So I will show you how to log into it presently. And then the other thing is, because this is a beta, beta is sort of saying it's not 100% in production. Gee, I'm using all the jargon words today. But it means that you can still contribute, which is cool. And I'll show you how to contribute. So I'm going to flick into AssetMap. All right. All right, so I'm going to take you back into the classic view. We just move our faces here. All right, so this is the asset map which you all know and love. And how do you access the new UX? You click onto the drop-down list on the top right-hand corner here. So this by this very handsome individual, and this will have your name, not financial planner. And if you scroll down the list of options, there's an option that's called Show Beta. So I click on Show Beta, and I'm immediately introduced into something that is immediately a lot more modern looking, a lot more elegant, and a lot more my favorite word, minimalist. So yeah, this is the landing page for AssetMap. And just before we go anywhere else, I'll show you where you can submit your feedback. So in the same drop-down menu, if you click on feedback, a page will open up that allows you to really cast the net as wide as you like, or to submit feedback on any parts of the tool, which is pretty cool. Right, so let's go back to AssetMap dashboard. Yeah, I think that the first thing to notice here is just how clean it is and how functional it is. And I think what the dashboard serves to help you to do is to say, all right, what do you want to do? Do you want to go to your household index and find a client or do some analysis? Or do you want to add a household? So I mean, what else is there to do? I want to add a household, or I want to go and explore and slice or dice some data. So I'll give you a bit of a sense of how cool everything is and how seamless the workflows are just by working through a couple of examples. So this is adding a new household. You'll see the workflow has changed quite a bit. I click a button, it says to me, how do you want to add the household? So through the discovery process, so I can initiate that process of sending a digital client interview to the client. I can integrate, or I can key in the information myself. So just to give you a sense of the change, I'll quickly do one for myself. So the Winslow household, live in Cape Town, South Africa. It's Gary. I'm 43, male, and I'm the primary member. So that's as quick and easy as it is to start building your household of people and entities. So I'll add my wife Jo. She is 39, don't tell I told you. And she is my spouse. So it really helps you to work through, everybody that is important in the life of your client through this menu over here. So that's my spouse. I could equally add my kids, family, extended family, friends, other dependents, trustees, business partners, and the like. So Joe is my spouse. I add member, and you'll see just in that promoting speed and helping the advice process to be a quick one. You'll see that I'm able to, from the screen, add either a member, so a natural person, or I can add an entity. So I can add an entity, I can add either a trust or a company or a CC, whatever I like. So it's a quick and easy process. I add the household. I'm not going to use stencils this time, and boom, I'm in AssetMap. So I'm going to give you a sense of what it looks like by using a household that's already been filled out. Right, so we can click into the map. So yeah, I think here we are.
Gary, maybe just to highlight, just to highlight one thing. I don't know if the people viewing this are noticing the speed.
Thanks, Benny.
It literally, as you're clicking stuff, it's there immediately. It is a huge increase in speed. So hopefully that makes it easier to use.
Yeah, thanks for that, Benny. Yeah, I mean, this is the crown jewel, and I think the first thing that strikes you is it's using a lot more of the real estate. So I found at times that it was sometimes you're leering over to see something, or you needing to scroll up and down. I mean, if we think of the classic version, there was a whole lot more clutter on the screen. So there was there was an action bar on this side of the page. There was an action bar at the top of the page. So there was a lot more sort of going on that took up what's really important, which is the visualization for the client. So this is like nice and simple and clean, and you can clearly see what's going on and what's happening. So all of the stuff that used to be in this bar on the right-hand side here is still there. And if we click on the arrow, we can see what each subsection is. We can click on the actions and all of the same old stuff. So you can add a member, an entity, a cash flow, an asset. What's nice is you can add a target map from here. So that's a nice feature. So and all of this is making it a lot more user-friendly and a lot more usable by centralizing all of the functionality in a common spot. But the important thing again is let's talk about how this engagement or how this change affects the engagement and the relationship between the financial advisor and the client. And as we said, AssetMap listens to its financial advisors and its users, and what they've been saying over and over again is, can't we see an overview more than just two people of this household? So can't we see like everything in a single glimpse, in a single snapshot? And this version or this iteration of the UX is enabling that, because you can click on as many members as you like, and you can see how the AssetMap collapses all of those people into a single page. So you can start your conversation where you want to with your client. And maybe this is a bit funny in this example because you've got a couple, then you've got a business partner and a company. So it's unlikely you want to incorporate those ones, but you want to show this is the couple and this is their family trust. In a single snapshot, this is everything. Now we can say, okay, now let's drill into the conversations that are important. Let's talk about the relationship between Carl and Jolene. Let's understand the dependencies. Let's understand that relationship. Let's understand the relationship between Carl and his business partner, Joe. You see there's some buy and sell policies. And so those are the important conversations and relationships that you're still able to draw on, but you're able to introduce the conversation as you would like it to. Right, so let me see where I am on this. Oh, just while we're here, like a snazzy feature, you can click into the marker, which we all really like, and you can choose a color that suits your preference, and you can scribble to your heart's content at a color that you prefer. So again, this is just some nice examples of usability and customization. What did I want to show you now? So I think the part of the point here is making part of what this UX has done is it's made a lot of the functionality that was that was previously a little bit hidden, and potentially really useful features that, because of the way the software was built, a little bit hard to access. So this functionality, or this UX, has brought out a whole bunch of functionality that actually works in a nice rhythm with the asset map and with the target map. So I mean, if we quickly flash through some of the things on the left-hand side over here, obviously we're in the asset map at the moment. I can have a quick look at, okay, these are the members in the household. Anything I want to change over here? No, this looks all good. I can have a look at the financials, and I can scan my eye down this data collected column to see, okay, when last has data been updated? Is there anything that is completely out of date that I need to quickly work on and perhaps edit? This map looks all pretty fresh, so everything is as up to date as possible. I can flash into the target maps. So you'll see that the target maps are looking nice and clean. The old target maps, I think you'll remember, and just for those of you that are new, the target maps are your modeling together with the client to understand how funded they are for the stuff that they want in their lives. So each of these little percentages on the side here, you can tell at a glance that this orange bar is 92% funded. So this client is well on his way to making sure that he's adequately funded in the event of disability. In the event of death, he's 56% funded. In the event of retirement funding, he's 53% funded. And if you quickly click into any of these, you can see that it's really easy to see what assets have been allocated, what assets have not been allocated. And I can quickly click into the next part of the functionality. So this is, I went from target maps to notes, and Benny, I mean, this is just mind-blowing, hey? How quickly this is just going. From target maps to notes. Yeah, that's really cool. The notes is actually a really useful feature, which was a little bit hidden as well. A lot of our advisors use this to track in real time the conversations that they're having with their clients. So to make sure from a client's understanding point of view and from a compliance point of view, the conversation is recorded and the advice is recorded. So you'll see for this, the last event that happened, some conversation happened over the unit trust. So in March in 2019, there was a withdrawal against the unit trusts. In October of last year, there was a switch of a portion of the funds into another fund. And if I wanted to make some additional amendments, I can click on it and I can easily write stuff. And I mean, the point is to record that advice seamlessly and easily, and to be as productive and efficient as possible. Then there's some exciting stuff with the balance sheet and the policy and the beneficiary reports, all of which they sort of like stood outside of the asset map and the target maps conversation. And I think this change brings them in quite nicely in the loop of the conversation, because at a glance you can have a look at the balance sheet and you can say, okay, I actually want to see it for Carl on his own. So let's have a look at his total retirement assets, his non-retirement assets, any real estate he owns. Okay, let's bring Jolene into the picture as well, so it gives you a total for both of them. And if you wanted to, we could incorporate the family trust. So this, what we call the Shazam bar, has come from the asset map, and it's incorporated the rest of the balance sheet and the policy summary into that conversation. So it's the same thing with the policy summary. I can decide who I want to see, and I can say I only want to see it for their life and their disability policies, and then you get a register of that category of policies. For beneficiaries, it's pretty cool. Really, really cool when you've got a long list of insurance policies or assets that you want to see, like has a beneficiary been nominated? And in this case here, anything that is not nominated, values would pop up in this block over here. And where they have been nominated, you'll see the amount and to whom the beneficiary nomination has been made. Reports is nice and clean. And what I like about the reports is that it's been streamlined into a table of contents style, which just makes a whole lot of sense. So you can, like, in your mind's eye, you can start getting a good feel for what is this report going to look like. So I want a cover page, I want the disclosure, member inventory. I'm not so worried about that. I'm already at a couple of pages. I want the asset map, I want the default map, and I want the company and the trust. Target maps, I don't want all of them. I just want the summary. So I'm going to unclick the detail, and you can see very quickly the page count. So instead of having to generate the report and see like, oh, that's actually just too much, it's going to overwhelm the client, you can see very quickly what the page count is. Is your client going to handle this? Do you want to give them a summary? Do you want to give them full detail? And so on. Yeah, the last thing I want to quickly flash through is the household index. And I mean, this is one of my favorites. And the reason for that is it's really hard to process a list. And like a list of clients, whether it's a laundry list or it's a list of clients, or it's hard to wrap your head around a list, and especially when it's a list that somebody else has created. And that's part of what AssetMap has introduced, is you can have your list being the list that you see every time you log into the household index. So I created a list here that I called important clients. So this is a default list, and I want to see at a glimpse who are the 10 most important households that I need to be thinking of 80% of the time. Who are those buggers? So here we are. I've created a list which I've ranked by net worth. I've also added in, okay, let's have a look at their non-retirement assets, their retirement assets, and my share of wallet, which is looking pretty dismal in this demo site. I need to do a better job of raising my game there. But so the point being that the more frequently I am looking at my 10 most important clients, or whatever is really driving my marketing strategy or my business development strategy within my practice, that is the list that I want to be shown in my face every time I bring up my household index. So that's pretty cool. And Benny, why don't you tell us a joke while I fumble around here?
And we're certainly going to lose people along the way if I start telling jokes.
Okay, so I'm back online. Yeah, I think we just really want to save a bit of time at the end here for you guys to ask any questions that you might have. I think really what we wanted to emphasize is that this is the start, and AssetMap is about delivering experience. It's about delivering usability for advice, for advisors, and for their clients. And I hope that this starts to give you some evidence of that progress for you. So
Okay.
Kirst, Benny.
Questions.
Yeah.
Well, maybe just to let you know, there's been lots of comments, Gary, about how the speed is amazing and people love that you can select multiple people on
Brilliant.
one asset map.
Awesome.
And everyone says looking good. So there's lots and lots of positive feedback.
Oh, great.
Questions that are coming through is when can we use it? So when can we start using that beta UX? And as Gary mentioned, it is live at the moment. I know there is a warning message on the bottom that says don't use with clients. It's because it is in beta. So obviously there may still be, little bugs that come through, and please send that feedback if you pick up anything. But if you're comfortable to share, then, then you're welcome to. But the point is just that there may be one or two things that still needs to be fixed. So please send your feedback. Gary showed you where to send that. Send it to AssetMap. You can also vote up feedback that other people have sent in, which is quite a nice feature. So if you see something on that list that you also would like, please vote that up. And obviously if you find anything that's wrong or not working, just please let us know so we can get that sorted in the beta.
Any other points of interest that I missed, maybe, Kirst?
No, I think you covered them all. I mean, I think there is still going to be a few maybe small surprises in there for those when you do start using it. But the key things, I think you covered all of that. So thank you, Gary, for stepping in for me. But I think you covered it all perfectly. It's the refresh is all about it being cleaner, simpler, straight to the point, and having that modern feel. And I think that's people could see, and the speed is obviously a lot faster.
Brilliant. Well, yeah, if there are no questions,
that you want to add or questions?
I just want to say to you, Kirsty, that credit is banked. Bah! Got it.
Like, I'm going to be paying this for a while. Thank you.
I think maybe just one comment from my side is I've been really impressed how the AssetMap team approached this, this enhancement. So they thought really big and out of the box. So they didn't make sort of an incremental little change or something. They really rethought about how can they really make the client and the advisor experience better. So that was impressive to see, and for them it has been a massive project. I mean, they've literally rewritten the whole program, but I think that shows a real commitment, not just for this upgrade, but setting themselves up for for the next few years to be able to more rapidly roll out enhancements. And I like the way that they take into account feedback, and certainly they've taken feedback from us and from the South African user base. So we're very proud of that some of the South African feedback has gone into into this project. And so please, we love the feedback, and we want to improve the system for you guys.
All right, so thank you very much for your time. We really appreciate you joining us, and we'll be in touch as ever.